Hey friends, sorry for the delay. Chapter 8 is called Smiling. When we finally got to school, I started feeling shaky inside because I didn't want to get laughed at, remember? Plus, I was still concerned about the fruit throwing. I closed my mouth real tight and I walked back to my desk. Lenny smiled and waved at me. I waved back, then very slow, I did a shy smile. That's when Lenny jumped up from his desk and he did a loud whoop. Cool, he said. You look cool, Junie B. Jose heard Lenny and came to see. Then he grinned and grinned at my brand new smile, and he gave me a happy high five. And that is not even the best part, because Mr. Scary saw what was going on, and he came all the way to my desk to see my tooth, and he gave me a smiley face sticker. After that, he clapped his hands together, and he made announcement to room 1. He told them I lost my tooth, and he asked me to stand up and show them my special new smile. I swallowed, real nervous. Then I stood up kind of jittery, and I opened my lips a teensy bit so the children could see my tooth hole. And what do you know? Room 1 was happy for me. All of them smiled real nice. Except not May, of course. May just rolled her eyeballs. I think you look weird, Junie Jones, she said. I think your smile looks silly. I sat down. No, May. This is a silly smile, I said. Then I put my fingers in the sides of my mouth and I stretched my smile across my face and I wiggled my tongue at her very fast like this. Lenny and Jose laughed, and guess what? At lunchtime, I made my smile even funnier because Lenny gave me a raisin and I put it right in my tooth hole and it stuck there, very hilarious. Shirley laughed her head off at that joke. I'm beginning to enjoy that girl. So, how much did the tooth fairy leave you? She asked. Did you get a bundle? Yeah, said Lindy. I was wondering that too. I started feeling squirmy again. I looked at Herb, kind of worried. He tried to explain the matter to them. Well, Junie B didn't exactly leave her tooth for the fairy yet, he said. All of the children looked at me. Why? They said. Why didn't you leave it, Junie B? I squirmed some more, then finally I took a deep breath. I've got issues with that fairy, that's why, I said. Issues? Like what kind of issues? Asked Lenny. I swallowed real hard. Issues like, well, you know, like what does she do with the teeth, for instance, I said. For a minute, nobody said anything. Then May made a cuckoo sign at me. You know this one. What does the fairy do with the teeth, she said. What kind of dumb issue is that? I flashed my angry eyes at that girl. Well, if it's so dumb, then you must know the answer, right, May, I said. And so what does the fairy do with the teeth, huh? She doesn't pay money just to throw them away, does she? After that, I waited and waited for her to answer. The other children waited too, but May didn't say anything. Well, I said. Well, said Shirley. Well, said Jose. Finally, May's face turned red and she went to get a drink of water. After that, the whole lunch table started talking about the fairy. Only no one knew what she did with the teeth. We wondered and wondered. Then all of a sudden, Lucille stood up and she fluffed her fluffy dress. Well, guess what? I don't really care what the tooth fairy does with the teeth. All I care about is how much money she leaves. She looked at room 1. You're nothing without money, people. Remember that, she said. I tapped my fingers on the table, kind of annoyed. Yeah, only that doesn't even answer my question, Lucille, because I still don't know what she does with the teeth. Lucille put her hands on her hips. Well, maybe she just collects them, she said. Did you ever think of that? Huh? Collecting stuff is a hobby, you know? My Richie Nana collects tons of junk, and she pays good money for it, too. I tapped my fingers some more. Then I put my chin in my hands, and I thought about Lucille's Nana. Finally, I started to smile a little bit, because maybe Lucille's idea might make some sense, possibly. Pretty soon, Herb smiled a little bit, too. A tooth collection, huh? He said. Maybe that's the answer, Junie B. Yeah, that just might be it. The fairy might collect teeth as a hobby or something. Sure, said Lenny. There's nothing wrong with collecting stuff. Like, I collect baseball cards, but I don't really do anything with them. See, and I collect Matchbox cars, said Jose. What's wrong with that? Just then, Sheldon springed up from the table. Yes, and I collect vacuum cleaner bags. And the doctor says that's perfectly normal. After that, Sheldon laughed and he pretended to vacuum his pants. All of us moved away from him. Then the bell rang and everyone went outside for recess. That afternoon, I wrote in my journal, "Dear first grade journal, me and Herb talked some more in the playground. We decided that the tooth fairy has a tooth collection, probably, and that is not even weird, possibly. Also, I promised Herb I would put my tooth under my pillow tonight. I hope we were right about this woman. From Junie B., first grader. P.S. I wish me all the best." And the next chapter is chapter 9, called Miracles. I miss you all.